Alright guys, welcome back to the channel where today we're taking a special look at one of this year's new match types, the Underground match. New in WWE 2K25, the Underground match is a unique match type that sees the ring ropes and the turnbuckle pads removed, leaving just the base of the ring and the ring posts, while the ring itself is surrounded by a crowd of spectators who'll cheer the players on as they bang on the mat. Due to lack of ring ropes and turnbuckle pads, Underground matches play very different to regular matches, as a lot of the players' moveset is limited, and because of this, Underground matches feel more like a fight than they do a wrestling match. When first loading into an Underground match, the first change you'll notice comes in regards to entrances, as these work in a similar way to the Elimination Chamber, where your superstar performing their regular motion on the stage before the camera then cuts away and we get a new animation that's unique to the Underground. From the few matches that I played, rather than use the same animation for everyone, I did notice that there were at least 2 animations for the men and 2 animations for the women, with these possibly linked into whether they're heel or face. Once the entrances are done, the announce team will then go over the rules for the match, noting that this is an Underground rules match, and that means there's no countouts, no pinfalls, and the only way to win is knockout, TKO, or submission. After going over the rules, we then cut to the ring announcer who introduces the 2 participants.
The following contest is an Underground match. The only way to win is by knockout or submission. Introducing first, from Pensacola, Florida, weighing in at 265 pounds, Roman Reigns.
Similar to the entrance animations, from what I've seen, there's 2 animations for each gender, as the men will either play to the crowd or aggressively beat their chest, while the women also have an animation that sees them play to the crowd and an alternate motion that sees them crouch down and focus. As soon as the match begins, you'll notice how different it feels not having the ropes there, as the first thing I did was try an Irish whip and throw LA Knight to the outside, and then I followed that up with a diving attack, as because the ropes aren't there, you have the freedom to run over and jump off the edge using a ledge attack. When you throw someone off the ring, you'll notice that the crowd of spectators will quickly react to this and try to dodge them, though there are instances where the spectators will actually get knocked over, though to avoid hampering players and any awkward collision issues, as soon as you get near the spectators, they'll turn invisible so that you can't interact with them. This is the same if you exit the ring and you try to chase them, as the crowd will disperse and go invisible, allowing you to move right through them. Back in the ring, the lack of ropes brings one of the main changes to the gameplay, as brawling near the edge of the ring will trigger a new animation that sees the player teetering on the edge and trying to regain their balance, with this stance leading to some new move animations, as while they're in this position, you have a variety of moves that you can perform to send them down to ringside, with these including strike moves and grapples. When taking the action to the ringside area, you'll notice that the referee will also make his way to the outside, as the match rules are also set to falls count anywhere, as knockouts and submissions can be triggered on the outside. Should you check under the ring, you'll find that weapons are also available in the match, as you can use the weapon wheel to pull out items, though be warned, as by default the match is a no DQ match, so you will get disqualified if you use them, though I'd imagine this is something that you'll be able to turn off in the match rules. While you're at ringside, you can also use the updates to the barricades as another means of attack, as the ringside barricades are both climbable and interactive, as driving an opponent into them will see the screens become damaged. Also available at ringside are some new environmental attacks, as you can utilise the carry system to perform moves against the ring post and the apron.
Totally helpless at the moment.
When it comes to getting a player back in the ring, there's a few ways you can do this, as you can Irish whip them and have them roll back in, you can use the right stick while you're carrying them to place them on the ring, or if you're a more powerful superstar, rather than whip them to the ring, you can actually throw them. Speaking of environmental attacks, these can also be triggered while in the ring, as picking up a player in the carry position and then walking over to the edge will allow you to throw them off using a carry move like the powerbomb, while the corner posts also feature unique attacks, as these can be triggered by dragging an opponent to the corner and then pressing X. The corner posts can also be utilised when using an Irish whip, as a standard whip will see an opponent crash into the post leaving them dazed, while a strong Irish whip will see them flung into the post and end up outside. When it comes to ending the match, the developers have introduced a new knockout system that sees you enter a new danger state when your health is low. While in this state, you're moments away from defeat, as should you take a strong move like a signature or a finisher, then this will cause a knockout. Should you find yourself in the danger state, there is a way back, as successfully reversing a move while in danger will see you exit the state, and if you continue to keep reversing, this will see you begin to recover and build up more health. This new knockout system, which is also active in backstage brawls, was brought in as a means of letting players know when the match was about to end, as one criticism over the years has been that matches ending in knockout tended to happen at random on a regular move, therefore the new system is being brought in to alert players when a match is near its end. The other way players can win an underground match is by using a submission, which this year sees the return of the submission wheel. The submission wheel minigame is essentially a game of cat and mouse, where you have to use the trigger buttons to rotate the cursor around the circle and try to overlap your opponent's cursor, then hold it there while the inner circle fills out in your colour. If you're on the receiving end of a submission, the objective is to avoid your opponent's cursor long enough to escape the hold. On a whole, the submission wheel does add a level of skill to the game, though it can take some time to get used to. If you can't get used to it, the good news is that it can be turned off in the options menu, as the developers have included the option to go back to the button bashing minigame from 2K24. One other thing that I want to highlight in the underground match is how brutal it is, as this is one of the most brutal matches there is, and to reflect that, busting someone open and making them bleed seems to be a lot easier in the underground, as not only does it occur when throwing players into the corner post, but it tends to happen a lot more from strikes, with the blood itself looking to have received a big update, as I caught this footage of Jacob Fatu being cut open during the Trading Blows minigame, where you can see the blood start running down his face. In addition, this year also sees women bleed for the first time, and the developers haven't held back on this, as this shot of Liv Morgan shows the blood splattered all across her face. Speaking of blood, like last year, the more damage you do sees more and more blood appear, until eventually it also starts dripping and staining the ring mat, which adds to the feel of this being more of a fight than a wrestling match. Sharing some additional details, players will be glad to know that the underground match isn't restricted to a certain arena, as you can play an underground match in any arena, including custom ones, has asked the developers if underground was supported in custom arenas, and they confirmed that it was, so if you want to create your own Fight Club arena, or recreate GCW's Bloodsport, that too is now possible. Overall, I have to say I really enjoyed the underground match. The gameplay is quite refreshing, and I love the way that you can quickly climb on and off the ring, which is something that you can also see they've implemented into other parts of the game, like the backstage. I also like how there's a variety of different moves in there when you're on the edge of the ring, as being able to suplex people to ringside or spear them off is pretty cool, though more than anything I'm more intrigued to try out the full version and see what it's like with DQ turned off, as once you add a few weapons and a few tables into the mix, I think this match could be even better. As for any problems, the main issue that I had was an issue with whipping players into the corners, which is something that I also mentioned in the hands-on video I did, as a lot of the time when I tried to put someone in the corner, they ended up going to the outside, though that's not something that's specific to the underground match, as it also happened in other matches. As for any underground specific issues, the only glitch I noticed was after brawling on the outside, some of the spectators had climbed up onto the ring, though moving over to them caused them to go back to ringside. As for anything else, I can understand why the entrances and the victory scenes are limited, as I've had to mocap new motions that don't use the ropes, but I hope there's a few more included, or some unique ones for people like The Undertaker, as it wouldn't make sense to see them use the regular one. So that's a first look at the underground match. I'd love to know what you make of it, so let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to learn more about this year's updates, you can check out this video going over the new ladder match updates and a new AI feature for the Creation Suite. Until next time though, thank you so much for watching this video, have yourself an awesome day, and I'll catch you later.